So let's start. So since you were able to do the journalizing, posting, and the trial balance, lahat. Okay, good. All right. So ano naman yung adjusting entries? All right. So sa adjusting entries naman, class, um, di ba, for example, you purchase um, you purchase an insurance, right? Insurance for 1 year, for 1 year, worth 12,000 pesos. Okay. So for example, this transaction, okay, this transaction happened last September. Last September 1. Okay? Ayan. So ngayon, nag-close daw ang book ng December. Okay? So, my question is, nagamit ba yung 12,000 for the whole year? So, kung 12,000 ito, class, magkano per month yung insurance na pinag-uusapan natin dito? So, how many months in a year?
12 po.
Yeah, 12. So, kung 12,000 to, magkano per month?
1,000 po.
1,000. Very good, Ira. Okay? So, September daw siya nagsimulang magbayad. For 1 year yun. So, September 1 hanggang September 1 the next year. Tama ba? Nag-end tayo ng December. So, ngayon, ang tanong ko, nagamit niya ba lahat yung insurance for the whole year? Kung September siya nag-start, tapos December tayo nagsara?
Hindi po.
Hindi. Very good, dear students. Like, so September, October, November, December, ilang buwan lang ang nagamit?
4 po.
4 months po.
4 months, and then nag-close na tayo. So, that is why meron tayong adjusting entries, okay? Kasi meron tayong transaction na kagaya nito sa ating journal entry, and then at the end of the accounting period, we have to update. Okay? Kailangan nating update na 4 na buwan ang nagamit natin sa pinurchase nating insurance. Or what about naman, for example, na you purchase an equipment, for example, on account, right? On account, for example. So yan, kagaya din ito, on account. So for example, nakapagbayad ka ng kalahati, di ba? Tapos, hindi ka pa nakakapagbayad ng kalahati. Kalahati pa lang yung nababayad mo. For example, 12,000 pesos din. Right? Tapos, kalahati pa lang yung nababayad mo pagdating ng December. So, ang tanong ko ngayon, magkano pa utang mo? Kung 12,000,
Kalahati din po.
kalahati. So, anong kalahati ng 12,000?
6K po.
6,000 pesos. Okay? So, 6,000 pesos ba yung utang mo? So, dapat ma-reflect doon the next year na meron ka pang 6,000 na utang. Okay? Can I see a thumbs up sign kung naintindihan? Alright, good. So these are the things, right? Some common adjusting entries na dapat nyong gawin. Okay? So, ito yon. Here, example are, some of the common adjusting entries are prepaid expense. So, ito yung example ko kanina. Supplies unused at the end of the accounting period, prepaid insurance, saka prepaid rent. So, ito yung mga examples natin. Okay? So, for example, on January 3, Company A bought supplies costing 1,200 pesos. Okay? So, nung original entry niya, nung January 3, ang record mo is supplies 1,200 and then cash 1,200. Okay? Kaya lang, right, pagdating noong January 3, nagsara daw ang kung titingnan nyo dito, monthly. Diba? Just like what I mentioned to you last time. It depends upon the company. May ibang company na hinihingi nila on a monthly basis. Tama ba ako? Can I see a thumbs up sign kung natatandaan? Right? So, it's either on a monthly basis or per year. So here in our example, per month siya. Right? Okay. So 1,200 daw. Nag-bought ka ng supplies. Ngayon, sa asset method, for the asset method, the supplies that were consumed will be calculated as follows. Supplies minus supplies on hand ma-equal supplies expense. So sabi kasi dito kung titignan nyo, at the end of the January daw, nag-inventory or nagbilang. It showed na 300 worth of supplies is still unused. Okay, again, unused daw si 300. So therefore, kung 300 yung unused, ima-minus mo siya kasi ang kailangan natin sa asset method ay yung nagamit na. Okay? Alright, sige, clear ko. So, tatandaan, sa asset method, okay, sa asset method, ang ilalagay na amount is used. Okay? Used, or in Tagalog, nagamit na. Okay? Ganun po sa asset method. Sa expense method naman, it's the other way around. Okay? Sa expense method, ang gagamitin ay, okay, lagay ko lang dito, unused. So, paano yun nalaman na unused? Inventory. If there is the word inventory. So, di ba, for example, di ba may tindahan ka. Kunwari, meron kang, kunwari, titinda ka ng barbecue. Nung nag-open ka ng store, meron kang 20 na barbecue. Tapos, at the end of the day, may 5 natira. So, 5 natira, yun yung unused. Do you get me, class? Okay? So, ngayon, ano ang magiging journal entry mo? Okay? Supplies expense, supplies, 900 pesos. Okay, tatandaan nyo, paano yung, ma'am, paano ko po malalaman kung prepaid expense yun? If it involves the following supplies, prepaid insurance, saka prepaid rent. Okay? So, ngayon, so ito yung adjusting entry class, ha? Ngayon, tignan natin yung expense method. Sa journal entry, kung titignan nyo on January 3, supplies saka cash. Right? Pagdating naman sa expense method, tignan nyo, supplies expense ang entry niya, tapos cash. 1,200, pero same amount. Now, if you would have to see the adjusting entries ng asset method saka expense method, ano ang napansin nyo, class?
Baliktad po.
Magkabaliktad. Okay, very good, right? So, ano ang magiging variable natin dito or nag-iiba ito? Ayan ang nag-iiba natin. This will be our variable, the one that I underlined. So if it's like insurance, you would have to put insurance expense, prepaid insurance, right? And if it's rent, you have to write rent expense, prepaid rent. Kakaintindihan? Okay. Basta tatandaan, kapag asset method, amount is used. 900 yung nagamit na. Sa expense method, ang amount ay unused. Okay? And pinagbaliktad lang siya. Okay? Alright, ayan. Paano naman to? On January 1, Company B paid premium of 18,000 to Long Life Insurance Company for 1-year insurance coverage up to the end of December. Right? So kung titignan nyo ang entry niya sa asset method, prepaid insurance, cash, 18,000, and then insurance expense, 18,000, cash, 18,000. Nakita nyo, supplies. Kung naiba ito, tama ba ako, class? All you have to do is to memorize, okay, yung entry natin. Alright? So ngayon, 18,000 daw yung journal entry niya. Kaya lang, okay, pakibasa nga ako dito. Rose Ann, pabasa ako.
At the end of January, 1-month insurance has expired. So an adjusting entry must be recorded, but first calculate the monthly insurance expense and the balance of prepaid insurance.
Okay, alright. So ngayon, 18,000 daw yan for 1 year. Usually naman kasi talaga, ang insurance, binabayaran yan in advance. Diba? Kasi magagamit mo lang yan kapag may nangyari na sa'yo. Okay, ngayon ang tanong, gusto nyo ba na kapag may insurance kayo, magagamit nyo agad? Ayaw. Siyempre. Okay, siyempre mas maganda pa rin huwag mo siyang magamit. Pero we have to be ready, of course, kung anong pwedeng mangyari in the future. Ayan, so 18,000 yan for a year, kaya prepaid insurance divided by 12. So, magkano siya per month na binabayaran mo?
1.5 po.
1.5. Okay, kaya lang, o yan, sabi dyan, 1 month pa lang daw ang nag-expired, right? So, therefore, insurance expense, 1,500. Prepaid insurance, 1,500. Okay? So, ngayon, ito lang yung nagamit na. Ito yung na-expired. Okay? Right? And then, as you can see here, minus lang po, 18,000 minus 1.5, you got 16,500. Naintindihan? Okay, good. Alright, so let's continue. Example naman to ng rent. Sabi naman, on January 2, Company C paid 30,000 as an advance payment to Spacious Realty for 6 months. So, ang tanong, magkano per month ang renta kung yung 30,000 ay 6,000? Sorry, for 6 months pala. Yung 30,000 is for 6 months na renta.
5,000 po.
Okay, very good. 5,000. Again, monthly basis tayo, January 31. So, magkano ang nagamit natin?
5,000 pa rin po.
Okay, very good. 5,000 ang nagamit. Okay? Kaya kung titignan nyo, right? Rent expense, prepaid rent.
Prepaid.
Yung 30,000, imakas nyo. Magkano ang makukuha nyo?
25,000.
25,000 po.
Kaya prepaid rent, rent expense, pinagbaliktad lang.
Nagbalik.
Ilalagay ko dito, asset method, ang amount is unused, right? Amount is used rather. And then the expense method naman, okay? This amount is unused, okay? Papasa na ako ng what do you call this? Definition of accrued expenses.
Accrued expenses are expenses already incurred, but not yet paid at the end of the period. Accrued expenses, which are liabilities account, are recorded as adjusting entries at the end of accounting period by debiting an expense account and crediting a liability account.
Okay, very good, right? So, here, we have here common examples. Ito na yung parang Q nyo. Parang Q nyo na to. Employee salaries for the current month but still unpaid at the end of the month. Meron kasing swelduhan na, alam niyo yun, yung pakyawan. Tapos weekly yung sahod nila. Okay, may ganun eh. Or for example, kung construction worker ka, pag construction worker, weekly ang sahod nun. 'Di ba? So for example, ang nangyari, kunwari ang kalendaryo natin is, so for example, di ba meron tayong Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Thursday, and then Friday, di ba? So, tumapat na 29 to, 30 to, 29 to, saka 30 to, tapos yung Wednesday is 1 na. Tapos si Thursday ay naging 2. Tapos si Friday ay naging 3. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, linggo pa ng sahudan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nag-close na tayo, monthly basis tayo. Nag-close na tayo dito, tapos ito, hindi pa nababayaran. So, ibig sabihin, nag-close na kayo, pero ito, hindi pa nababayaran. Okay? Do you get me, class? So, that is why, mayroon tayong tinatawag na accrued expenses. Ayan, what else? Utility expenses for the current month but still unpaid at the end of the month. Okay? Ano ba yung example natin ng utilities, class? Kuryente, saka
Tubig.
Tubig.
Ito ang mga
Water
dapat
bill.
babayaran. Yes. Okay. Telephone bill din. Internet din dapat bayaran. Okay. What else? Loan interest incurred for the accounting period but will not be paid in the current period. Okay? So, ito daw yung examples, right, ng accrued. Ayan na, i-ano ko sa inyo. I-underline ko para ma-remember nyo. Ayan. Okay, example. Let's have an example. Sige nga, Ira, pabasa nga ako ng example natin, number 1.
Assuming that salaries worth 15,000 due to the employees were not paid at the end of March, an adjusting entry should be made as follows.
Okay, di ba? So yan, ito napakadali lang. Parang journal entry lang. Tignan mo. Hindi ka nagbayad ng salaries. Di ba? So hindi mo ko siya mababayaran. Kaya i-entry mo lang salaries expense saka salaries payable. Bakit? Bakit ma'am payable? Bakit ba payable?
Kasi po hindi pa po siya nababayaran. Babayaran pa lang po, kaya po siya payable.
Yes. Okay, so tatandaan niyo yan lagi ha. So, okay, ang ating keyword, ito po ang ating variable, yung i-underline po variable. Ibig sabihin, ito po yung inyong papalitan. Tignan nyo to. Diba? Nakita nyo, expense payable lagi, class. Kita nyo? Right? So, yung underline ko, yun lang, kasi dapat regarding about this example of transaction. Okay? So, ito, napakadali din. 2.5 daw ang hindi pa nabayaran sa utility. So, utility expense saka utility payable. Okay? So that we could go on with example number 3. Ayan. So, on January 3, yan, a company A made a bank loan of 100,000 from National Piggy Bank, covered by a notes payable that carries an annual interest rate of 12%. The agreement with the bank is that the principal amount plus interest will be paid after 6 months. Kaya lang, sabi dito, monthly basis tayo. The company prepares financial statements on a monthly basis to calculate monthly accrued interest payable. So, magkano siya? Paano siya kinompute? Yung principal amount natin, which is 100,000, times 12% divided by 12. Sige nga, try nyo nga 100,000 times 0.12, 1,000. Okay, so ibig sabihin, 1,000 daw yung interest na babayaran mo per month. Okay? So, remember class, in our example, sabi dyan, no, loan interest incurred for the accounting period but will not be paid in the current period. Okay? So, kaya, parehas din ang ating entry kanina. Nakita nyo? Again, ito yung ating variable. Ito yung papalitan. Parehas ba, class? Blank expense, blank payable. Tama?
Opo.
Okay. Alright. Is everything clear? Okay. Good job. We are now on the third one. Ang pangatlo po nating i-discuss ay unearned revenue. Ano naman kaya ang unearned revenue? Sige nga, pakibasa nga ako.
Also known as deferred revenues, deferred income. Unearned income are advance payments from customer for future services to be rendered or products that has yet to be delivered. It is liability account. Some revenues are.
Ayan. So, ito na yung, sige na, okay na. Thank you, Monica. So, tatandaan nyo, class, unearned revenue po ay liability account. Liability po siya. Kasi it's, examples are, advance payment of cash by clients for services yet to be rendered, advance payment of insurance premium for 1 year, advance rental payments for the current and succeeding periods. Okay? So, kung titignan nyo si unearned revenue, okay, compare natin siya kay prepaid, advance payment of cash by clients. Ito, supplies na binayaran nyo in advance. Tatandaan, kay prepaid kayo ang nagbayad in advance. Kay unearned revenue, si customer ang nagbayad in advance. Tingnan nyo to. Prepaid insurance. Kayo ang nagbayad in advance. Dito naman, advance payment ng insurance. Si client ang nagbayad in advance. Okay? Dito naman, sa prepaid rent, kayo ang nagbayad in advance. Sa unearned revenue, si customer ang nagbayad in advance. Pero hindi pa nagagamit. Can you see, class? Kung anong pagkakaiba nila? Yes. Okay. Tatandaan, si prepaid expense, kayo ang nagbayad in advance. Alright? Dito naman sa unearned revenue, the client paid in advance, pero not used pa siya. Hindi pa or not earned. Earned kasi yung ginagamit eh. Not earned kasi hindi pa nila ginagamit. Nagbayad lang ako in advance. For example, kunwari si Rose Ann, ano siya, nagkukulot siya ng buhok. Sabi ko, Maring Rose Ann, kulutin mo nga ako sa Sunday. Tapos biglang, ay, babayaran na kita, magkano nga yung Gcash ko na ngayon? So, nagbayad na ako kay Maring Rose Ann, pero sa Sunday niya pa ako kukulutan. Nagkakaintindihan ba tayo, class? Can I see a thumbs up sign? Okay, good job. Alright, meron tayo ditong example. Sige nga, pabasa nga ako. Tanya, pabasa nga ako.
On January 10, Company A received 7,000 cash in advance for services yet to be provided. At the end of January, Company A has already provided 3,000 worth of services.
Okay, alright. So yan, 3,000 daw yung na-provide mo na. 7,000 yung in-advance niya. Right? So ano magiging adjusting entries mo? Unearned revenue and then service income, 3,000. Nagets niyo kung bakit siya naging 3,000? Sabi dyan, Company A has already provided 3,000 worth of services. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yung nagamit, yung ilalagay nyo. Okay? 3,000 daw yung naibigay mo na, 7,000 yung advance niya. So, magkano yung hindi pa nagagamit, class?
40.
Okay. 4,000 or 4K. Alright, so let's have another example. Ayan. On January 1, Long Life Insurance Company received 18,000 from Company B as premium for 1-year insurance coverage up to the end of December. Ayan, 18,000 daw. Kaya lang, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, diba? Wait lang. Nag-close tayo ng January 31, right? So, kung 18,000 daw to, class, kung 18,000 yan, magkano per month yung insurance natin?
1,500 po.
Okay, very good, 1,500. So, therefore, 1,500 yung nagamit na. Kasi ito yung original entry niya, journal entry. Ito yung adjusting entry niya. So, unearned revenue, 1,500. Insurance income, 1,500. Okay? Sige, tignan natin in comparison with example number 1. Okay? Tignan natin yung comparison. Para meron kayong, ayan. So, kung titignan nyo, pareha sila, unearned revenue, right? Unearned revenue. Pero, nagkaiba sila dito, insurance income. Dito kasi service ang pinrovide. Dito naman, insurance. Okay? So, anong naiiba? Ito. Ito yung variable natin dito. Nagkakaintindihan? Okay. Sa ngayon, paano naman kung si client ay nagbayad in advance ng payment? Okay, sabi dyan, Spacious Realty received 30,000 as advance payment for 6 months rent from Company C. So, kung ito yung original entry, cash, tapos unearned revenue. So, at the end of January, okay, so ibig sabihin, meron diyang nagamit na ni client. So, ang tanong ko, kung 30,000 siya for 6 months, magkano ang renta in a month?
5K.
5,000. Okay? 5,000. Kaya, kung titignan nyo dito, right? Unearned revenue divided by, 30,000 divided by 6, you have 5,000. So, unearned revenue, rent income. Okay? So, kung titignan natin dito, wait lang, hindi nakikita. Ayan. Kung titignan natin dito, yung variable natin dito ay ito. Nagkakaintindihan tayo, class? Okay, good. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go on with number 4. Number 4 na ba? Tama, number 4. Number 4 na tayo, no? Ang number 4 natin is si accrued revenue. Okay? Si accrued revenue naman, also called accrued income, is revenue already earned during the period but for some reason or due to prevailing circumstances has not been billed yet to the customer. Okay? So this is the magic word, class. Has not been billed yet. Okay? So accrued revenue is a receivable account but differs from accounts receivable as the latter has already been billed or invoiced to the customer. So ibig sabihin nito, ang ire-record mo sa kanya, and a very good example pala ng accrued revenue is interest receivable. Okay? So let's have this as an example. Pakibasa nga ako.
Example number 1. On January 3, National Piggy Bank lent 100,000 to Company A that carries an annual interest rate of 12%. The loan is due after the principal amount plus interest is expected to be paid. The bank prepares monthly financial statements.
Okay, ayan. So kagaya nung kanina, right, 100,000 yung inutang. Okay, ibahin natin ha. Ito kasi ang nangyari dito ay nagpautang si National Piggy Bank. Okay? So ibig sabihin, may marireceive siya na income kasi nagpautang siya, di ba? So ibig sabihin yan, 100,000 times 0.12 kasi sinabi dito na ang interest rate daw ay 12%, right? So 100,000 times 0.12 which is 12,000, di ba? 12,000 divided by 12, you have 1,000. So magiging ganito lang yan. Ito, ganito lagi ang inyong entry. Okay? Accrued revenue usually ay interest. Very good. Ayan, sinabi naman niya. An example of an accrued revenue is interest receivable. Okay? So, can somebody read to me the definition of depreciation?
The process of allocating the depreciable cost of a fixed asset over its estimated useful life is called depreciation accounting.
Okay. So, ito, para mas madali niyong maiintindihan. Pag sinabing depreciation, for example, bumili ka ng bagong iPhone, tulad ngayon may iPhone 13 na ba tayo? Tama ba ako? Nakikita ko? O yan. So, ngayon, ibig sabihin yan, si iPhone 12, luma na siya. Hindi mo na siya mabibenta ng 100,000. Tama ba ako? Right? So, ngayon, yung uso, yung iPhone 13, pwede mo, kapag nakuha mo yun, mataas pa ang value niya. So, kapag nag-i-introduce ng bago, syempre, for example, bumili ka ng iPhone. Kunwari, ngayon, bumili ako iPhone 12. Tapos, ang bili ko sa kanya, 70,000. Tapos, ginamit ko siya ng 3 araw. Mabibenta ko pa ba siya ng 70,000?
Hindi na po.
Hindi na. Lalo na at may papalabas ng iPhone 13. Okay, so ganun po yung depreciation. Kasi may mga fixed asset tayo. May fixed asset tayo na, wait lang, nagdi-depreciate. A very good example yung furnitures and fixtures, right? Etc. Okay? So may tinatawag tayong the straight line method. Ito yung simplest method. Service value declines as a function of time rather than use. Okay? So ano ba yung mga factors to consider? Asset cost, estimated residual value, saka estimated useful life. So yung asset cost, kung magkano nyo siya nabili. Okay, in simplest term, magkano mo nabili? Bumili ka ng iPhone 12, binili mo siya 70,000, yun yung asset cost. Yung estimated residual value niya, makikita doon. Makikita sa problem. Other terms niyan ay salvage value, scrap value, or trade-in value. Okay? Bibigay yan sa problem. Estimated useful life, ibibigay din to kung ilan ba siya pwedeng gamitin? Like for example, di ba nakikita nyo minsan yung mga condo? Magtataka kayo yung condo, tapos ang tataas ng mga building, tas ginigiba. Sa tingin nyo, bakit kaya nangyayari yun? Bakit ginigiba yung mga building?
Matagal na po yung bill.
Yes, matagal na yung building. Tama, Ira. So, ibig sabihin kasi, na-reach na yung useful life niya. Kasi kapag hindi, tawag dito, kapag hindi niya sinira yung building, there would come a time na may mga tao doon, tas kusa na siyang gugutin. Okay? So, ganun po yun. Kaya yung building, yung furnitures and fixtures, sasakyan, yan, automobile, nagde-depreciate yan as time goes by. Okay? So, let's continue. Ayan. So, paano nga ba? So, ito po yung ating formula. So, napakadali lang to. This will be our last discussion. Ayan. Asset cost less estimated salvage value divided by estimated useful life. Okay? So, that is the depreciation expense. Okay? So, ito yung computation. So, meron tayo ditong example. Para mas maintindihan nyo siya, punta tayo sa example. Ayan. So, sabi dyan, if the annual depreciation is not given, you can determine it. So, dapat, anong gagawin natin? Kasi, pag sinabing depreciation expense, i-divide mo siya so 12 months. Okay? Paano yan? Kasi di ba kagaya kanina, di ba January 3, tapos January 31, ginagawa na, tama? Right? Okay? So, let's have this. So, ito ang magiging entry nyo. Depreciation expense, the name of the fixed asset, kung building ba yan, kung automobile ba yan, accumulated depreciation, tapos the name of the fixed asset. So, let's take this as an example. Ayan. Sige nga, pakibasa nga ako ng ating example.
On January 2, 2019, PVV Company bought equipment for a total cost of 800,000 pesos. Its estimated useful life is 5 years and the estimated residual value is 75,000. The company uses the straight line method of computing the depreciation and has a calendar year.
Okay, alright. So, ibig sabihin yan, class, right? Anong gagawin? Okay, go back tayo sa formula. Sige nga, anong ating formula, class? Asset cost, go back. Tignan nyo dun sa ating, ano yung ating, asset cost minus estimated residual value, right? So, magkano ang ating asset cost? Sige nga, compute nyo nga. 800,000 minus
75,000.
very good. So, sige nga, 800,000 minus 75,000. Anong nakuha nyo?
725,000.
700,000.
Very good. Divided by 5.
145,000.
145,000.
Very good. So, 145,000. So, ang nakalagay dito, January plus December 31. So, ibig sabihin yan, ito yung yearly depreciation niya. So, kung titignan nyo, ito yung journal entry natin, ito yung adjusting entry natin, dash, office equipment. So, ngayon, for example, this is automobile. Ang ilalagay nyo dyan, parehas, right? Dash, automobile. Okay? So, depende yan. Depende po yan sa ating asset na nagde-depreciate. Okay? Right? Ito lang yung papalitan nyo. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, for example, okay, January 2. Tapos, sabi ko, ako yung boss, sabi ko, okay, Rose Ann, gawan mo nga ako ng financial statement. Okay? So, ibig sabihin lang, gagawa ka rin ng adjusting. Sa January 31. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, magkano yung amount natin ng depreciation dyan? Anong gagawin sa 145,000? Kung yearly, ito, paano mo makuha yung monthly? Saan i-divide?
12.
Very good. Divided by 12. Sige nga, try nyo nga. 145,000 divided by 12.
12,000 point
Zero.
Magkano? Sorry.
point
12,000.
12,083.
Sorry, 2?
Point 333.
12,283?
0.83 po.
083.
083. Okay, ayan. So, ibig sabihin, per month yan, pag January 31. Do you get me, class? Can I see a thumbs up sign kung naintindihan? Okay, sige. So, if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for attending the class.